I don't know if you've ever heard of goat yoga, but basically it's like a yoga class, except there are goats there and they're like climbing on people. I know it sounds fake, but I swear it's a real thing. And I think it's actually kind of popular. This is not something that I have ever personally experienced, but I have seen pictures. And weirdly, the game has the exact tools necessary to create this in The Sims. So today we're gonna try to build a goat yoga studio and then do some playtesting to see if it actually works. I don't really have any reference photos for the build necessarily, but I did want to show you some pictures just so you can kind of visualize what I'm talking about. I was not kidding when I said the goats climbed on people, and I did make a sim for us to play test this with. This is Cal. I'll just kind of click through all of his outfits real quick so you can kind of see what he looks like. But I picked out the idealist, loves the outdoors, and active traits, and he's got one of the aspirations from Spa Day. I don't actually really remember the difference between a couple of these, but I put him on inner peace. The descriptions are kind of generic and vague, like this sim is on a quest to achieve inner peace. I think he just has to do Spa Day stuff. Self-care specialist has them doing like manicures, and I think that Zen Guru is like about him being a teacher, but we'll see once we get into game. Okay, cool, we're off to a really good start. The game wants to crash already. Oh, we're fine. Okay, I think I'm gonna have him live in Chestnut Ridge. I feel like if we're gonna do the whole goat yoga thing, it makes sense for it to be on a farm. And step one is for us to register the small business. I'm just gonna call it goat yoga. When I was looking at places near me that have goat yoga, most of them are just farms, and they just also happen to have goats, and then they offer goat yoga with the goats. I've never been to any of these places, but look, they have paint and sip, and there's a goat, and they all painted the goat. Isn't that so cute? But I feel like for simplicity's sake, in the game, I'm just gonna call it goat yoga. And this is a llama, not a goat, but it kind of works, right? So I'm gonna use that as the icon. I'm gonna put care for animals as one of them because Sims will feed, clean, and care for all the different animals, including mini goats. Also do yoga and maybe attend classes and lectures because we can set it up so it has a classroom with businesses and hobbies. And then real quick, I wanna buy my goats first. I kind of feel like I should buy one of every goat. I'm not gonna get any sheep, but we'll get a little collection of the 8 goats. They just go in your inventory, so I'm gonna have to place them all in the world individually. There are gonna be so many goats on this lot. Luckily, in build mode, you can kind of move them around. I know that sounds really bad, but we can like move the goats to be in the front of the lot temporarily so that we can arrange everything and then put the goats back. As far as the game is concerned, they're like technically just objects. I don't really have a budget for this lot either, but I guess we can just start with starter home price and then cheat for money if we need to. I'm sort of feeling like it should just be a barn, and we could have like the yoga inside of the barn and also maybe a second yoga setup outside in the field. Because from what I've seen, there's kind of a mixture of classes inside and outside. And then we could have Cal's apartment be on the second floor, and he can have a really small apartment. I kind of like the idea of it being only 3 tiles wide. To me, this whole thing is really about the goats. It's not really about Cal. And then maybe over here, we could have like a little stable or something. That'll probably have to be fencing instead of walls, obviously, but then my goats can have little goat beds. And this way our goats can have a dedicated indoor and outdoor space. Oops, maybe I'll use this nicer fence. God, I just love Horse Ranch. It honestly is like my favorite pack, and I did not expect to feel that way when they first announced it, but I'm not even joking. I have so much fun playing with Horse Ranch. Okay, let me just get the roof put together real quick. So the barn would look something like this. Maybe I should have a little bit of an extra, because that way he can have slightly more windows inside of his barn. And I like that it's sort of asymmetrical. I think that's cool. We can also adjust this so it's not clipping inside of the house at all. Okay, so initial thought, and this might be a bad idea. We're gonna need to think about this a little bit. But my initial thought was to have the staircase like back here. We can have it be kind of open. Oh, maybe then this could be the public bathroom, and he's got little private access up to his apartment. His apartment is really small. You might need another bathroom. I wonder if we could have like 2 little bathrooms, or this could be a storage closet. Well, maybe we have closet right here, and then the bathroom is through this door, and then we can have a shower and a tub, and he just uses that as his bathroom too. Because then maybe his kitchen could be like along this wall. He could have a little bed. It's kind of like a studio apartment upstairs. We could even put the kitchen downstairs if we wanted to in this section, and all he has is a bedroom and a living room up top. That does get slightly annoying for gameplay though, because then the townies can steal your food. If you've got leftovers in the fridge, the customers will take it, and you don't always want them to do that. Okay, I put wood floors throughout everything. I think I'll just put the whiteboard like right here, basically centered directly in front of the room. I have to cheat his wellness skill. Oh, you can be a perfectionist, that's fine. I just want to be able to test that he can do it. Writing class. Uh-oh, is there no wellness class? There's no wellness class. Oh, it literally is right, no, hold on, it's right there. It's on the first page. I just told you a lie. Well, you can do it like that, and then there's also like the instructor's yoga mat, but part of me is thinking maybe we could have both somehow. Might actually be better to do it opposite and have the whiteboard over here and the instructor's yoga mat at the front of the room, because then we can put, I mean, I don't actually know how many yoga mats you need to have for the class to be functional, but we probably want to have as many as possible. I guess I'd then put another one outside somehow. I don't know. I'm not really sure about this. Let's pick some wallpapers first. Maybe once we have some more decor, it'll kind of start to look better. Not really sure what window I want. Probably just this one, because then we can do this fancy window on the top floor. I might even double it up, do it in the front and the back. Okay, well, I don't really like how that looks from the outside, so I might just not do it. I'm tempted to give my sim his own front door back here. Don't know if this is weird, but if he had like a little front door in the way back, we could put his mailbox back there and we can try and force the poor mail delivery person to come all the way back. But I have learned that it's nice in a small business to have a separate location as your front door. It's just a little bit easier for gameplay. Okay, here's something that I'm kind of feeling a little bit unsure about. I would love to have like one of these big giant sign right in the front of the business. But the only problem with this is that I have to open up the fence and then my goats can escape. So that kind of makes me want to have a separate gate and like put another fence inside, but that's not as cute. And I know I should be thinking about the safety of my goats and not about what looks cute. Okay, I think I'm gonna paint the building with white. I don't want it to be like all wood everywhere. I want kind of a mixture of the wood and the lighter color. Oh, but the roof looks bad though. I wonder if I could get a roof from a different pack that is brown. I might actually use the roof from Enchanted by Nature. I feel like that looks cool. May as well use the Enchanted by Nature roof trim too. Okay, this is bad now. That little thing. I think I like that. Is there a goat sign? Oh my God, there is a mini goat sign. That is the cutest thing ever. Okay, perfect, perfect. No notes, that can stay. You know, I'm starting to think that this probably will not be a starter home. 5,000 simoleons left and like a whole build to do. Any of these come in a goat swatch? No, they're really nice, but they're not goats. Saying that kind of thing out loud is so funny. It's really nice, but it's not a goat. Oh, I'm gonna put a couple of these because I want to put some like custom planters in there. Okay, I don't want to have bushes everywhere, but I am gonna put quite a few of these. Oh, one of these old trucks might be kind of cool too. Do any of these signs have goats on them? No. Okay, I think I have laid out the majority of the little plants that I want to put down. I'm gonna try and figure out what else we want to add, like more of those rocks, also some of these kind of bushes. I think what I'm kind of trying to do now, oh, let me move the mailbox real quick. I think what I'm kind of trying to do is match a little bit of the landscaping that's out here. So this kind of yellow flower at the rocks and then the big bushes, that's sort of the energy that I'm trying to achieve. Some of these are kind of cute. This is like a little stump with some of the yellow flowers on it. I could probably put a couple of those. Not everywhere, but just in some places, especially if I'm gonna use that yellow flower. Is this the one? It looks so blue. Wow, I don't really know what to make of that. Well, maybe once more of it is put together, it won't feel bad. Okay, I'm just getting in some of the rocks now. I think it actually is making a big difference. I was kind of worried at first, but now I feel like it's blending in a bit more. Okay, I'm putting a couple of these little guys in. These are just like empty planter boxes basically, but inside of these is where I want to put the purple flowers. Outdoor Retreat calls this one Pleasant Purple Flowers, and the base game calls the small one Lavender Bush. But I like how that looks. And then it brings in some of that color that they have elsewhere in the world. There are wider ones. Like this is the plain base game wider one. It's like a little bit neater looking. Kind of makes me wonder if I should be using that instead. Maybe the neater type is better for inside of these pots. And I guess, you know, we could put some of it in the ground. There are some places that have like some empty areas that could really possibly benefit from this. Yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of trying to get a good top-down look and decide if I like it. I think I do. I think I like that it's not just all one color and plain. Okay, all of the important stuff just gonna move to the center for a second. I think I'm gonna put this thing slightly underneath this tree, kind of just tucked off to the side over there. I think I will use this broken down thing right in the front like that. This is just a little storage chest. Oh, the goats can't drink this water. I don't need to have the water. I can put this little food thing right here. My sim can come fill it too, but the goats can't get into the water one. They're like this tall. They can't reach it. They can eat this though, which is nice to have. Okay, there's more than one. Yeah, this is an instructor's yoga mat too. I'm thinking that I'm kind of gonna go for like slightly plain, not to just make them all be brown, but I kind of want them to be the same color. Yeah, that's about as many as we can fit. I might do the same thing in here too. These kind of look like they're made out of cork, which is kind of cool. Maybe I should open the business just so I can test out how the classes work. Oh my God, here they go. Look at the goats, they're already running. Look at them hopping, it's so cute. Look at this one. At least there's a reason for the goats to sort of stay stay in this part. So yes, they can free range and get out, but all their stuff is in there. Oh, a customer's already doing it. Okay, so I could host a wellness class. I just want to see what the wellness class entails. Okay, you have to lecture for 60 minutes, discuss cognitive focusing methods. I don't think I have to actually teach any yoga for this. It's probably just about having Sims become focused. Maybe I'll cheat through it just so I can get, yeah, have attendees become focused, be friendly with Sims. Yeah. Teach yoga class, public, brain boosting. Oh, they're joining. Oh, cool. Okay, so it does work. And then the goats are just wandering. Look, this goat's even gonna join the class. Oh my God, I'm like obsessed with this. All right, I'm gonna leave them there while I keep working on this. We will do some proper gameplay testing in a bit. I just wanted to make sure that it functioned because it'd be really sad if we built all this and then it didn't even work. But now I know that it does, so it's fine. There's a little plant clipping. I don't want you to do that. I think I'm gonna look through everything that comes in Horse Ranch and we'll just kind of start getting a few of those things added in. Sort of like this random little cabinet. Oh, maybe this could be white wallpaper. I do like the white with all the brown accents. I think that kind of fits. It's giving like upscale renovated yoga studio. He painted the walls, you know. Oh, you know what else we need really bad is prairie grass. We're gonna want to make sure we have a little bit of that in a few places because then the goats can eat it. Plus that's more things to entice them to stay within the lot. I'm getting a couple lights above here. Oh, this is clipping. I don't want that. What kind of signs do you have? These are all like about nectar, right? Yeah, we don't want that. I'm gonna try and make it look like this is hung up on the fence. I feel like that's kind of cool. Or maybe, can I make it look like it's hung up on this? We could probably raise it up. That's interesting. Got some storage for tools. Maybe they have this little sign because this could tell you about like different events going on at the farm. Oh, are you not centered with the, oh my gosh. Yeah, these need scooted over a little bit. I think you can still get to the whiteboard. Maybe a couple of lights behind this. Okay, starting to get some plants added in. I think that we need to have a lot of plants. Hanging plants, potted plants, just lots and lots of plants everywhere. This plant is from Laundry Day. I basically never use it, but I'm gonna try it. You know, my sim is dressed in like so much color. And then I turn around and make his business kind of like wooden and brown. Maybe I could give him a couple things. Like maybe he could have these blue counters. This is not gonna be his actual kitchen. This is like a kitchenette. I'm kind of thinking more like storage for stuff the business needs, you know, like that kind of thing could go in here. Plus a couple of seats in case the customers want to sit down. They could maybe have a drink tray. Yeah, I like the idea of that kind of thing. Something the customers can use but can't ruin, basically. Okay, I put a plant next to it. I want the paranormal plant. Can I raise that up? I guess it just goes into the roof, so yeah, we probably can. It won't get into anything. Oh, he would totally have a house plant. I didn't even think about that. We could probably even have multiple house plants. I think that makes sense for a business like this. So Everyday Clutter has like a little extra yoga mat. We can put that in here. And if we're gonna use the Everyday Clutter kit, we may as well put some more stuff inside of his apartment section. We could also probably have this thing on display from Everyday Clutter. Okay, I kind of like that as the interior, and I think I might say this part is finished. I'm gonna decorate the bathroom now. I think my actual worst nightmare is a bathtub that just any customer could use, because I'm sorry, you just know he's not cleaning this bathroom that well. Just like some random guy runs a little farm business by himself. He doesn't have time to be like scrubbing the bathroom. He probably cleans it, but not like deep cleans it. He's definitely too busy with like the ghosts. So I bet this room is gross. Like in reality, it's probably nasty in here. Okay, this is what I've got for the bathroom. I think this is gonna be the entire bathroom. He won't have one upstairs. I do think I'm gonna put one of the closets. This closet is from Get Together, but it's also a woohoo spot, and we can put some little things like cleaning supplies in here, and I think that'll be kind of nice to have for gameplay. So I'll use that. Okay, Horse Ranch does have a stair railing, so I'll use that. He's got this whole little nook back here, and this sim is basically living in a tiny house, so I think it would be in our best interest to really take advantage of all of this, and I'll have him use this space as like a little office. Can he get to that computer? I don't know the answer to that. Here, let's close the business anyway. We'll fix it later. We'll play test it in a minute. Oh man, he can't get to it. That makes me sad. I can fit this same computer upstairs though. Well, possibly. I don't know. If he has to have everything upstairs, maybe not. Oh, we could rearrange it. Maybe I could put his desk right here because that would be functional. That's not in the way of anything. And then we can still have a little office. It makes sense to have an office right off the back door of the public space anyway. I don't really mind if he can't access this bookshelf. Looks a little bit silly, but it's basically just there to fill in the space because it's kind of tight. He can't really use use it anyway. He can have a fun colored rug. I think he would like that. Okay, downstairs done. Now we have to fit a kitchen, living room, and dining room all upstairs inside of this one tiny space. I might cheat for some more money. Okay, I'm gonna do his kitchen in this little corner. I'm gonna make it very similar to his kitchen downstairs. I am gonna put the fridge in kind of a weird space on purpose though. Almost like it didn't used to have a fridge and now it does. And I'll put a fruit bowl on that counter so that he doesn't try and cook there because I don't really want him to do that. Oh, we can hang up his pots and pans on this open wall. That's cool. And they're kind of rusty too. I'll just put like the cheapest base game stove. Maybe no upper cabinets. I don't like how they look. Then I'm thinking probably one of the beds that has some more color to it. I like this one. I might scoot his bed like all the way up against the wall. Look, he can have a little TV. Okay, this is kind of what I'm working with so far. I know it might seem a little bit strange, but I am liking the scale of this. Let me scoot it over a bit more. He can watch his TV from there. He can still get into his bed, and then we can give him a little dining table. I want to have something above this kitchen, but maybe we could do something like this because it's a little bit more simple. I'm gonna give him a kettle too. Okay, I think his apartment might be done. I don't want to overdo it because I'm scared about running out of space, so I'll leave his apartment like that. I do need to get a better mailbox, just like any old wall mailbox will do. And I'll get rid of this. I'm also gonna try and have a little tiny porch. Kind of still trying to define this as a separate space. We can have a separate doormat. And then maybe the last thing we do is put some terrain paint in. I did initially think that I might try to have like a seating area or something like that for the business, but I think I want it to be a relatively simple business. Like I want the focus to be on the goats and not on like the people coming to sit down. Like, I guess what I'm trying to say is I want to have more space that is field so that the goats have places to be. We'll leave the focus on them instead. I do think I want to put a pathway. I've been doing this thing lately where I've been like putting a really light colored path down first, and then I put like a darker dirt on the sides so it kind of has like layering to it. I'm gonna do that really quickly with this one. Maybe a little bit more dirt even on the side. Okay, goat farm. That is goat yoga. Maybe I'll take a couple of the goats and I'll put them inside, like some of the ones that are just standing around, because they're supposed to have free reign everywhere. And then I will save. No, you know what? I'm gonna open the business and test run it again. I don't have a ticket kiosk. I guess that's the only thing that we're kind of missing. I didn't put a ticket kiosk on purpose, but also we probably should be charging an entrance fee. That's like the only way to make money in this game with businesses. So maybe I will put one. Okay, so this is public. Maybe I'll make this part employees only, and then we'll have this upstairs part be residential. Oh man, it's doing the glitch. Okay, I'll make this residential then, because that way nobody can get upstairs. I can't actually set this at all, but our door will stay locked and that's fine. Now let's test run it. Ticket kiosk is inaccessible. Lies. I know it's accessible. Okay, we'll have the people come over and then we'll teach a yoga class again. What are you doing? Don't go talk to a random fairy. I want to teach a yoga class. Let's teach a public, family-friendly yoga class. Hello? Would you like to join my yoga class? I was canceled because nobody joined. Oh, well, I'll play triple speed. People joined last time. Maybe my ticket kiosk isn't accessible. Oh, yeah, now they're using it. Okay, let's try again. Oh, look, they're joining my yoga class. It's goat yoga. I'm so glad I built this. It's just so silly. Look, look, look. One of the customers is playing with the goat. That is set as the front door. No. This is the front door. Why would it set the bathroom as the front door? Oh my God, this goat is like trying to participate. That's so funny. I took a screenshot. Okay, well, if you would like to play with this business, you are gonna have to set the business lot requirements yourself. So you'll have to put a sim here and then like put on these 3 business activities. Unfortunately, with small businesses, the business activities don't save to the gallery because they're tied to the sim, not to the lot. Okay, I'm uploading it right now. So it's finished if you want to use it. This was kind of fun for me because I feel like I don't really use the wellness skill or yoga as often as I probably should. And I like the idea of a dedicated place to come take a yoga class. And I think it's kind of cool that it isn't a spa because I've done lots of spa builds and stuff in the past, but it's kind of interesting to have it be something else, something else entirely. And it's fun. You can like bottle feed goats if you come here. But anyway, I think on that note, I'm probably gonna end this video right here. I hope that you enjoyed it. I'm having a great time. If you've got any, oh my God, the goat just laid on its back like we did. Did you see that? I think it was playing dead, but that's so funny. Oh, I got tipped 18 simoleons too. You can make some good money teaching yoga classes. Rags to riches idea? Yoga class, rags to riches? It's been so long since I've played with spa day just in general. Okay, I'm getting some ideas, but if you've got any other wacky ones, let me know in the comments and I'm gonna catch you all tomorrow. Okay, bye everybody. You know what? This is a good example of the kind of business that works well with businesses and hobbies because it's selling a service and it's kind of a simple concept. Like it's just goats and yoga, and the Sims do well with both of those things. They're not really glitchy features or anything. I think this is like the exact thing they were intending when they made that pack, weirdly enough.